Right, I think I'm on. Can you give me a one if you can hear me? To say you can hear me. Don't know about these bloody headphones. Ah, Jesus. Who's on there? Daniel Bate, Gavin Scrimger. Thanks for joining. We've got 10 here, one thumbs up. If you could please give this video a like, it helps with the algorithm, apparently. I don't know if that's bullshit or not. Kaiser Sose, Haircut, Giles, Millington. Thanks for joining, folks. Shandy Warhol, member, thank you. Jumbo, hello in Kenyan. Commander Vex, LN85, hello. Right, you can all hear me. Red Frog Guy. So according to the news media and some certain politicians, we're all far right. Fascinating, don't you think? Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Ills from Liverpool. Right there, La. Sam G, Action, Tim W, Simon Matthews, Coden Houston, Rother, Ham Van Man. I'll never get that right. Mike Gatley, Douglas Tubbo, L85, Darren Rye. Hello again. Anyway, I thought I'd do this video just to clear a few things up. I can see on social media people are still telling lies about what happened on Armistice Day. Blatantly telling lies as well. And having experienced it firsthand now, what I've seen and what the mainstream media are printing and what politicians are saying, even Rishi Sunak, I'm like, why? Why do this? What's the end game here for doing this? And we're paying our taxes to these people. Rishi Sunak was not elected. He was installed like a toilet in Townley Street. And the only person at the moment, the only politician, though she is ineffective, she says the right things, is Suella Braverman. She is saying what fed up people in this country are thinking, and nobody's representing us. The politicians should be representing us, but they're not. The mainstream media should be telling us what's going on, but they're not. They've got their own agenda as well. Everyone, literally everyone. That's right, Lord Jim Dandy, Sly News. So anyway, I had planned to go there on Saturday. As you all know, I do have PTSD, and I usually get nervous when I anticipate something, like I did with the live stream with Absolutely Average. I was shit myself because I was anticipating it. Nothing to do with Russ, nothing. I was just, what was it? That's why this live stream has just been spontaneous, and I feel nothing. Weird, isn't it, how it works? Anyway. So I planned to meet Simon. We planned this together. We were going to go to the Cenotaph, not for trouble, report to you what happened. Take part, and should anything have happened, then we've done our bit. Everyone would have done our bit. I can promise you now, folks, if we weren't there, no, we didn't see Tommy. Oh, yeah, we had a glimpse of him. Sorry, we had a glimpse of Tommy. He was like way ahead of this crowd we were behind, but I'll get to that later. You threw me off now. Hello, Warwick Bull, you're right. If we hadn't been there, if the people who were labelled far right by the mainstream media and social media weren't there, I promise you, the Free Plasticine lot would have been there. There would have been. There were arrests made on that day of, thank you, Joel Morris, Nigel Farage is going on, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here this week, another political wanting to be a celebrity. Well, he doesn't have a constituency to worry about. He's not a member of a party. Why not? He's been paid 1.3 million, isn't he? He's not representing anyone. It's just a celebrity. That's his job now, celebrity with opinion. So why not? If he can spread that on I'm a celebrity, fine. Get the views up and get his views out there. I would be more pissed off if Nigel Farage was an MP, had a constituency to look after, and not doing what he was being paid to do. Until then, if you understand that point of view. Right, where was I? Tim W getting bored. What board are you getting, Miss? Because you spelt it wrong for a start. Now, if we hadn't been there, I can guarantee you the Free Philistines lot, they'd have been there. They'd have ruined it. There were arrests made. You can see it on my Twitter. some of these people getting arrested because they had fireworks ready and they were believed to disrupt the 2-minute silence. But as you saw in my video on YouTube, that wasn't the case. So I got there around 6:30. I wanted to get there early, just in case. I got to Victoria Station. I was talking to Simon sideways the whole way throughout. And he was going to be a bit late because he was driving up. And it cost him a fair quid as well. Was it the ULS bollocks he had to pay and fuel, etc.? The fair play to him. So I bimbled around London some of the morning. I thought I'd walk to the Cenotaph. I got there by accident. I was just bimbling around. I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I noticed where I was. I know where I am, Parliament Square. I'll just shoot to the Cenotaph round the corner. So I went there, and it was heavily guarded then. You could walk through on the Downing Street side, as I showed you on my video. And there were people already with their medals stood on the opposite side. And there were cops there, and cop vans. And you could see members, I think it was the household division, doing their PT in the morning, jumping up and down. That's who you see in the video. I recognize the t-shirts. So I did the video. That's got like 90,000 views or something. And I went back. I got me McDonald's. I was starving. I got McDonald's breakfast. Went back to Victoria Station. And then spoke to Simon, who was at, where was he? Embankment. So I met up with him between 8 and 9 after a little walk. We did my back and my legs in. I'm getting on 46. So I met up with him, and he was with some other fella. And this guy was, I don't know if I should tell you who it was. I was up to, well, he was the like the editor for the Lotus Eaters podcast, Saga of a Card, Carl Benjamin. So he was there. Interesting guy. And also, more sinisterly, there were people there in this crowd, which was swelling rapidly. There were football firms there with their face masks up, Union flags, English flags on their back. And we were being watched by the cops. We had this woman, obviously batting for the other side, coming up to Simon and I, asking what this is all about, and she knew what it was all about. So I don't know if she was undercover, but there were cops on the bridge and on top of the train station, taking filming us. So they had our faces. I'm like, oh. So we were feeling slightly apprehensive. Obviously not there for trouble, but still, we were there. Got on with it. It was nice to see Simon as well for the second time. So we bimbled along. The march walked on. Tommy Robinson was at the head of it. We walked through what looked like some sort of Chinatown, but it wasn't the Chinatown, but it was an alley. And then the chanting started. England till I die, rule Britannia, oh Tommy, Tommy. We got to the Cenotaph, and the police had put in a block. I'll put another video tomorrow. The police put a block about 200 yards, I'd say, from the Cenotaph. This is by Horse Guards Parade, or Horse Guards, where they do the trooping to colour where they're stationed. You know, the guys with the horses, soldiers with the horses. And we got kind of kettled slowly round the side, the left side, opposite side of Downing Street, if you know where it is. And we slowly bimbled down to the Cenotaph. And that's where we met a lot of, I want to say fans, but that's like celebrities, isn't it? A lot of viewers and subscribers who shook our hands. It was really nice to have people come up to us, shake our hands, have photos taken with us, and share our concerns and opinions, which makes people like Simon and I and other YouTubers do this more. So it was a big encouragement for us. And then somehow, in fact, I think the police knew who to block coming down to the Cenotaph. And they were kind of standoffish, but there was no trouble. No trouble whatsoever. There was shouting and with the police, and you can have a few, aren't you? If you let the side down. But we got to the Cenotaph. I met Russ, absolutely average, which was nice, in his riding leathers. When I say riding leathers, I mean motorbike. What a nice guy he is. I managed to shake hands with Calvin Robinson. you just walk in because Simon was perched on this wall. How the hell am I going to get up there? So I tried twice because I'm fat. I'm pleasantly plump. To get up on top of this wall, there's about probably 20 of us on top of their flags and stuff. So it's a good view. And I saw Calvin Robson shook his hand. He said, "Oh, thank you. God bless you, my son," which is nice. What a nice guy. He was there in a suit and a bowler hat. He's had his head shaved, hasn't he? And a really nice guy. He could have just told me to fuck off or something, but he didn't. And then it happened. And as you saw in my video, there was nothing whatsoever. There were a few football fans shouting, "England, England," a couple of minutes before. They were told to shut up, and they did. They directed some abuse at someone. I think it was the mainstream media. There was a BBC van there. But they were told to shut up by a few veterans, and they did. The 2-minute silence went on without a hitch. Nobody stormed the Cenotaph, as some lefty Twitter social media users are saying, and nobody disturbed it. I proved it in my last video. So if there was any so-called far right there, it didn't affect the proceedings whatsoever. We did the important bit, the 2-minute silence, and then we headed to the pub. On the way to the pub, we met a few more people, had their photos taken with us, shook our hands. I'm not saying this to blow our own trumpets, but the reason I'm doing this, one of the main reasons I'm doing this YouTube thing is people agree with me. And to have these people come up to me, shake my hand, and with Simon was just fantastic. It really was. So we're appealing to people, lots of people. Got to this pub, people bought us drinks there. There was a Scottish fellow with a YouTube channel. I still got your card, by the way. I said I'd share it in the comment section, and I will. The card's in my jacket. Both Simon and I were wearing Barber jackets. It was bloody boiling as well. I kept taking them off. So we got to the pub, the one on the corner opposite Parliament. Commander Vex, thank you. Sir, people need to explain to lefties that lying in bed with hardline conservative Islamists is never a good idea. Cognitive dissonance and bias at play. Absolutely, absolutely right. Pandering to these people is just, it's baffling, isn't it? Why would you do that? So we got to this pub, got a few pints, talked politics with a few subs, went to meet Pap, Police Abusing Powers YouTube channel. I was looking forward to meeting him, but he got really ill. So if you're watching, I hope you're all right, mate. He had to go. On the way back up there, to struggle through this crowd, through the Cenotaph, same thing, shaking hands, photos. And then we got to the I have to write it down, I keep forgetting it, the Horse and Guardsman pub near Trafalgar Square. So we sat there drinking, and I met Frank Jessup, a regular subscriber and supporter to my channel. It was nice to meet him. Raffers Red, thank you, sir. Paz, get yourself a well-deserved pint, and thank you for your service. If you ever return to Belfast, I'll happily stand you another few beers, lad. Cheers, thank you very much. I would like to go to Belfast again. My favourite time in British Army was basic training and Ballykelly, Northern Ireland, Ulster. I loved it, every minute of it. It was just great. And good people up there as well. Really good people. Anyway, so we were there in the Horse and Guardsman, and people buying us drinks left, right, and centre. And I did that live stream. There was like 1,000 and something watching us, which was nice. It's really good. But we had problems with live streams. Simon did a live stream by the Cenotaph, but it kept cutting out. I started my live stream down there, and it kept cutting out. And according to Danny Roscoe, who we met, nice guy, another YouTuber, the police have people with rucksacks. And what they do is these rucksacks have devices which block transmissions. But weirdly, there were people at the Cenotaph with a few subscribers, a couple of hundred subscribers, but they had thousands watching them live. And this isn't like slagging them off, but it's just weird, isn't it? Yeah, there's people like me and Simon with literally thousands of subscribers, and we couldn't even get on YouTube. I'll get a live stream on. So that happened. And just to explain what these rucksacks are, if you ever patrolled in Ulster, Northern Ireland, you've got a thing called an antler on the back. And what that does is when you're patrolling, it stops terrorists from remotely detonating devices, because that's what they do if you're patrolling near something. And I think it's an upgraded version of the antler they're using. My God, I remember that. And then I had to leave the pub. I just had a tooth out, and you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. But I was drinking something called Country, which was rather nice. And so, yeah, so I had to leave. I had to go to Victoria Station. Little did I know. Oh, a few people stopped me on the way to Victoria Station and said hello, shook my hands, etc., which was nice. Got to Victoria Station and I just walked into it, didn't I? The Free Philistine or Free Plasticine lot, pro Hamas matches are there. And the placards they had waving was just disgusting. And interestingly, I didn't see any copper watching us, the so called far right, at the Cenotaph and the football firms. None of them had poppies on. They had the pride badges on, etc., but no poppy. Why the hell not? I'm sure there was a few ex-servicemen there. Why the hell didn't they wear a poppy? I hardly saw any civvy in London wear a poppy. That morning when I arrived, when I got on the train back, nothing. Absolutely nothing, which was disheartening. All right, okay, you're free not to have to wear a poppy, but still. And if you're a copper and you're wearing all these minority badges, why the hell aren't you wearing a poppy? It's thanks to the people, the glorious dead, that you're allowed the freedom to do so. But there we go. Um, yeah, so I walked right into Victoria Station. I missed the hoo-ha, but the placards were disgusting. I saw one, it was a big one. It said, you're either on the white or the right side of history. And around the white was the Israeli, French, American, and British flag. And around the right side, was the Hamas Free Plasticine, Palestine, and the other Islamic countries' side of history. There's a guy shouting that the 1930s Germany knew how to deal with them. I thought, Jesus. And they're antagonizing people. I had my poppy on. I had an enamel poppy with my regimental badge on it, Royal Fusiliers. I was getting dirty looks. I was giving dirty looks back. Any of them started on me. Then I wouldn't hold back. I wouldn't give a shit. But yeah, Victoria Station was heaving with these people. And there was a certain type of people. They're all students, obviously Middle Eastern people as well. But how the hell could the police call what happened at the Cenotaph a hate march? Hello, Harold Stewart. You're right. Thanks for joining me, folks. Can you please hit the like button as well? It helps the algorithm and share this everywhere. I'd be very grateful. That's how you help people like me and Simon. Cheers, Phil. Thank you very much. Sorry, I've got a sore throat, so I'm swallowing all the time. But it was an interesting day. And I've even shared a few photos on my Twitter. You got these coppers, Met Police, right cops, and they got their photos taken with a kid dressed as a terrorist with the red shimag covering his face. I mean, come off it. There is two-tier policing. Swella Braverman is right. There is two-tier policing. There's nothing wrong in what the woman says. She is absolutely right. And if she has the power, she should do something with the police. Now, I wouldn't vote for a mainstream party anywhere the next election. None of them. Even if Swella Braverman got to power, because she'd be utterly useless. She'd be hampered. Everyone's trying to get her sacked. The mainstream media, every news outlet out there, online, on the airwaves, on the radio. The tedious usual lefties on social media, on Twitter, they're trying their best to get us sacked, calling her a racist. Oh yeah, that's another placard I saw as well. It was a big long one with a coconut tree, and they put the faces of Rishi Sunak and Swella Braverman on these coconuts. Now, coconut is a racist term. Someone who's brown on the outside and white on the inside. It's disgusting. Really disgusting. There were never any hate placards by anyone on that march on the way to the Cenotaph or anyone at the Cenotaph. There weren't no hateful chants, nothing. And when they did started chanting, England, England, they were told to shut up, and they did by veterans. There was no trouble there whatsoever. And if there would have been, it would have been agitators put in there by the establishment. That's what I believe. I'm that far on the fence now. I've seen it with my own eyes. The mainstream media, the authorities, the establishment, they lie. And they're lying to demonise. And they've got their agenda. I'm sorry if I sound like David Icke, but I've experienced it. I really have experienced it, and it's a crying shame. It really is. Real sea fishing. Mautusi's live yesterday. He found one couple wearing a very small poppy patch, but it just goes, well, at least it was a poppy, wasn't it? At least he did it. But he got abuse or whatever, discipline for doing it. That's what I want to know. But honestly, not one couple wearing a poppy. How disgusting is that? I didn't watch. I was in Milton Keynes today. I didn't see there was Remembrance Sunday proceedings, but I think it went off without a hitch, didn't it? I think. I should have put this on StreamYard. I could have had people come up then and talk and give their views. Patriots was no trouble to the police, started shoving loads of men down an alley and blocked it off. Yeah, that's kettling. That's kettling, that is. Well, everything's offending people now, isn't it? Hello, Kiwi wife. Hello, sweetheart, you're right. Didn't have the notification. I got 546 people watching and 345 likes. It'd be nice to have 500 likes. That helps. YouTube shares my stuff when it's being shared by you lot and unliked. Now, I don't know if you can hear, but there's lots of fireworks outside. What the hell's that about? Is that Diwali still? I don't know. Rafa's Reds, people used to laugh at David Icke, not laughing anymore. Well, I don't know about the lizard stuff. I really don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was an interesting day on Saturday. Really interesting. It was good. It was uplifting. The 2-minute silence, the clapping afterwards, and they had the members of the armed forces there, Army, Air Force, Navy. They were there, and they had families as well. And they got a round of applause. And there was no fights, no abuse, nothing. As soon as they finished, everyone just dispersed. Don't know where they went, but there we go. Apparently, there were a few arrests. But if you believe that, then Robert Paris, numbers there on Saturday, there were thousands. There weren't hundreds, like the mainstream media say. There were thousands of them. Absolutely thousands. But I've got a great video of these coppers, and they're in double file, and they're running behind this commander, a big fat guy with a big, huge, bushy beard. And they're breathing out their asses, and they're running up to the football firms at the other end, and they got called names. So, what's this? Running ads? What the hell's that? Ad skipped. Yeah, interesting. I'm glad I went. I hope Simon had a nice time. I know he was complaining about paying the money to get up there. There was a lot of money, 150 odd quid he had to pay. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Then he had to find somewhere to park. Kiwi wife, mainstream media will always focus on small incidents, make it out to be bigger than it was, and move location and time by being vague or just by plain lying. They cannot help themselves. Even Rishi Sunak put out a statement, and as the Prime Minister to put out a statement that was a complete lie. I mean, Cenotaph was disrupted, etc. And I'm thinking, well, I know it wasn't disrupted at all. As you saw in my video, go watch my video earlier today. It was not disrupted. 2-minute silence, start to finish. Nothing. Richard Duplessis, you were predicting that the protesters were doing to disrupt the ceremony, and it didn't happen. I see you not apologising for us. It's not hysteria, you gaggling lefty, you. It's not hysteria. If we hadn't been there, if that crowd hadn't been there, thank you, Untamable. Thank you very much. Didn't have to do that. Very kind. If we hadn't been there, the other protest would have gone there. I promise you, they'd have gone there and done something. But only because the veterans and so we call them patriots were there, it didn't happen. And that's why I went. I wanted to ensure it didn't happen as a veteran. And if it did, I was there. Simon was there. Veterans were there. People were there. You don't touch the cenotaph. You don't touch the 2 minute silence. Armistice Day. You don't touch it. Remembrance Day. You don't do it. Richard Duplessis, I've been accused of being a right-wing bigot all my life. I'm definitely not a lefty. Well, you sound like it. Why do you keep attacking me on here? Not that I care. Take it. More Truffle Ducks back? You bloody hypocrite. But I promise you, if we hadn't been there, it would have happened. And God knows what would have happened then. The media would have still blamed the far right, because that other protest can't do any wrong. The placards they were holding up, what they were chanting, and they won't touch them. Lefties won't touch them. Alistair Campbell, Gary Lineker. You go see what they're saying online about them. Leanne Wood, Plaid Cymru Plank. That's another one. Yes, I would, Warwick Bull. Oh, the big bang there. Herman the Tosser. What about the very, very, very far right? Right, the real far right in this country are in a fringe. They're the fringe of society. There's not enough of them to make any change or anything, to disrupt anything. These are people who are living in basements, living with their mothers still. They're young. They write the most horrible things online. And they get found out and they get jailed. They're cowards. They're proper bags of shit. The real ones. The real Nazis out there with their memorabilia and spotty faces and beards they can't grow properly. Hello, Rala. Thanks for joining. Colin H. Even my local Witherspoons had a 2 minute silence. Yeah. Decent people in this country had a 2 minute silence and observed it, and that's it. But people are saying, oh, they died so people can protest on the cenotaph. No, not on the cenotaph. Another day, another time, another place, yeah, but not then. It's one of the few traditions we have in this country because our traditions are being ebbed away. They're being taken from us. That things are changing. And I can't say I like the change. Then they're renaming street names, taking statues down. You can't say certain things. It really is. It's a sad state of affairs. It really is. And to see that lot in Victoria Station and getting dirty looks from my poppy, sickening. What has this country come to? What has this country come to? I don't know. But it's quite sad, isn't it? Herman the Toaster, eat the bugs and be happy. Hello, Jade Rabbit. Thanks for joining, member. You can only do a British flag now. Yeah, I've noticed. If you type on social media, try putting in a George Cross on there. You won't get it. I think you only get a British flag now. You won't even get the Welsh. Oh, you can. Steve Alden, there we go. The George flag. George Cross. How weird is that? There were people singing Rule Britannia there. But the mainstream media, thank you, Elaine Ward, thank you, very kind. Didn't have to do that. Thank you kindly. But they were getting abused by the football lads, the mainstream media. And they were just ashen-faced. If they were planning on doing a broadcast, I think it was binned. Because the only camera you can see now, any coverage of that, is from the Downing Street side near Parliament Square. And you can see Simon and I as well, perched on that wall. If you go to Sky News, Sly News, I'm stood there with my camera and Simon stood there. It was a really good day. I'm glad I went. It was good. I felt good. Other people, other veterans, felt good as well. I know they were there to do their bit. I know they were there because they hadn't been before, but they wanted to be there that day just in case something did happen. And they were there to do something. Kiwi wife, Platicine saying that they have a right to protest at Cenotaph during armistice or remembrance. It's like them saying there's a right to protest at any funeral. What's the difference? Indeed. Evening, Lee Enfield 101. Thank you. I've fired a Lee Enfield. It was number 4 Mark 1 I think. Cheers, Martin Woodford, becoming a fan. Thank you very much. A fan of my channel. I've got over 500 likes. You know, I mean, well, that's demonetized. Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Just give this video a like and share it. Because by sharing my stuff, you're sharing your comments then, because people do go through the comments, I promise you. And you're winding people up by saying the right things. Cheers, Bright K. Thank you for your beer fund. Thank you. I left a few beers behind in that pub because of my lack of tooth. And I need to be sober for today because it was the boy's birthday and I took him to the iFly in Milton Keynes. Yeah. Cheers, Pink Salt. Thank you for being a fan. I appreciate that. Thank you, folks, for everything you're doing for my channel. If it wasn't for you, then I wouldn't be so blowing my own trumpet. I love German beer, Warwick Bull. Weiss beer. Or Weiss beer. I love it. Wheat beer. First time I drank German beer, I was in Austria. And I drank so much, I was walking around the toilets with my hand in my shirt telling people I was Napoleon. I can't remember that. Then I threw up everywhere and on people. Those were the days. I was in a place called Hockfills skiing for 2 weeks. Or was it a week with the army? It was nice. I just got picked out of exercise to do that. I was only happy to put my hands up. I'll go. It was a great week. A few of the Royal Scots got deported back because they were being twats. And there was a lad there called Rafferty who pissed the bunk bed on top of me. And the catchphrase was, "Taxi for Rafferty," because it was thick as mince. I remember that, blimey. Commander X, tell us about the roots of your love for Britain, Paz. The roots of my love for Britain was I grew up in the sticks, deepest, darkest Wales. Thank you, Joe X. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. North Wales. I was taught by left-wing Marxist, pro-nationalist teachers who hated England and Britain. But I had a few English friends. I like British history. I joined the army because I come from a piss-poor family and I had no prospects or qualifications. Nothing. The army made me. And I haven't looked back since. I think the Brits and the English in particular get a really raw deal in the world, being blamed for everything. And it's flipping unfair. And people need to stick up for you. I'll stick up for the English, no problem. You can't be blamed for everything that happened through history, can you? Britain wasn't the only empire. Weren't the only people who dealt in slaves. There are more slaves now. Slavery is practiced more widely in the world now than it was during the slave trade. At the height of the slave trade, sorry. When we abolished it and when the Yanks had their slaves and went to war over it. That's the truth, but people don't like that. And I love the fact that the truth winds people up. And I love the fact I can be on YouTube and prove that what happened on Saturday was a lie, or they say happened Saturday was a lie. Exactly, Debbie 75. Romans, Egyptians, Vikings, the Japanese Empire, they all had slaves, everyone. And every culture's been a slave at one point. The English under Edward I kind of enslaved the Welsh back then, back in the 13th century, conquered us, built castles to subdue us. Do I hold any grudges? No. Do I want reparations? No. Why should people now have to pay reparations for something that happened to someone else decades or hundreds of years ago? It's wrong, isn't it? And I like the fact that I can say that, and I like the fact that that pisses people off. Civil Defence UK, thank you, sir. Huge fan, Paz, respect. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Or madam. I appreciate it. Anne-Marie Wright, thank you very much. Oh my God, I'm going to get really drunk at this rate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Don't have to do that. So there we go. What happened on Saturday was a lie given by the mainstream media and lefties on social media. They're even on this saying that people trespassed on the Cenotaph. It didn't happen. I've shown you on the video. It didn't happen. Can't believe it. Woke, progressive, cancel culture, left-wing nonsense. That's what it is. And they're doing it because they want to change this country, this island, for the worse. And Hamza Useless in Scotland telling Suella Braverman, ordering her to be sacked, to resign. The hell is he? Who elected him? Nobody. Richard Duplessis, Germany is still paying reparations to Israel for the Holocaust. Are they? Robert Parry's Social Experimentalist is live right now. A raid would be fun. Who's that? Is that the YouTuber? Don't know. If I could have 600 likes for this video, I'd be very grateful. That's the only thing I'm going to ask from you. Give me 600 likes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Jesus. That's not a loud bang. Right, that's it. Oh, come on, 3 more likes. Just 3 more likes, and I'll cut the stream. I'll bugger off. I'll leave you alone. There we go. Thank you very much. Smash the like button. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right, thanks for joining me. I hope you've had a great weekend. Cheers, David Keith. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. If you want to see what really happened, look at my last video. Watch my last video. The truth is on there. Nothing happened. The far right weren't there. The far right didn't disrupt it, and it went beautifully. 2 minutes uninterrupted. A few seconds before, a few seconds after. That's the truth. Don't look at the mainstream media for truth. Look for YouTubers who are there, who are posting the truth. Lord Jim Dandy Lucy. Oh, I didn't hear it tonight. You're welcome, PC. Thanks for everyone who shared my stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I do this. Thank you, Kiwi. Oh, bloody hell. I hardly spent any money yesterday. Everyone bought me beers. Literally. Everyone bought me beers. And Simon. I don't know if he drank them all. I couldn't. But it was nice to see Frank Jessup from Texas. I know who you are. A well-known sub, a regular on my channel. Thanks for buying me a beer as well. And I'm shocked that you're English. I thought you were a proper Texan, the Stetson. Howdy, partner. One of them. But you're not. What a really nice guy. The lad from Lotus Eaters. Nice lad as well. Chinese fella. Oh, you Chinese or Korean? Sorry, dude. It was just a really nice guy. And the guy who was dressed like the Undertaker, I haven't got a clue who he was, but a nice guy as well. I think he does something for the Lotus Eaters. Hello, Ruben Thomas. Thank you very much. They're the regular. Was the chopper news up? The chopper, but the chopper during the 2 minute silence was a copper. It was a green and yellow helicopter. So it was a chopper. Was it National Grid? They used National Grid. Cheers, Special Needs Pets. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your contributions, all your views, all your subs. It means a bloody lot to me. It really does. And the fact that a lot of you came and shook my hand and had photos, it just, I feel vindicated that I'm right and I'm doing the right thing and I'll continue to do the right thing. And if you're a lefty and you're watching me and it pisses you off, good. I am happy. I'll do more. All right. Hope you have a good Sunday. Hope you have a good week. I'm off work for a whole week. I'm part-time anyway. But it could be a change ahead. Can't say much. Yeah, so there we go. Thank you. I love you all, people. I really do. I mean, it means the bloody world to me that you lot are still with me. It really does. You have no idea. Thank you, Debbie75. I think it's going to be a while before I hit 70,000, is it? Right, I'm off. I'll leave you guys alone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for everything. I appreciate it. I love you all. Rule Britannia. And Roger Trout.